Hi folks, Paul here from Turner Hopkins Immigration Specialists based in Takapuna in Auckland, New Zealand. Today I wanted to have a bit of a chat about what it means to be a licensed advisor and why licensing is really important as part of the selection process for an applicant. When you're choosing someone to help you through what is probably one of the most complex processes you'll ever undertake, knowing what licensing means and the difference between being licensed and unlicensed is really important. New Zealand has a licensing scheme that means anyone who provides immigration advice needs to be licensed to do that. There are some exemptions to that. So for example, lawyers can also provide immigration advice as they are regulated by their own industry. Also, people advising solely on student visas can also do so without a license, although from my perspective, they should still be licensed anyway. People applying for student visas often apply for other visas further down the line, and so having someone with that license and knowledge of the entire process is really important. When it comes to the provision of immigration advice, all people providing that advice, unless it's very generic and off immigration's website, do need to be licensed or exempt from licensing. So a lawyer, for example. Providing immigration advice includes telling you whether or not you might qualify for a visa, how that visa process could work, and also what documentation you need. There are many people who claim to know how the immigration process works, particularly on social media pages where they'll dish out lots of well-intentioned advice, but they're not qualified or licensed to provide it. And also, really importantly, if you're lodging an application and someone who is unlicensed assists you and immigration finds out, that's actually grounds to decline that application outright. So it's really important to make sure the person you're dealing with is both licensed, has a good track record in the industry, and knows what they're doing, particularly in relation to your application. Having an immigration license is one thing, and obviously that's the legal requirement to provide immigration advice, but that doesn't necessarily make that advisor a good advisor. There are plenty of advisors who are licensed who may not understand the category of visa you're applying under, the situation you bring to the equation, or the complexities involved in how that could work for you. If you want to find a good advisor, it often happens by being referred. So often my clients will come to me because they've been referred by a family member or a friend, someone I've worked with before. Have a good look at the licensing website that will tell you how long the person's been in practice. You might also contact several advisors to get a bit of a feel for who you can work with. This process is really all about people, and you have to be able to trust the person that you're working with, that they understand your situation, and that you believe they're credible and can help you through that process to work together. So if you're looking for a good licensed advisor, check that they are licensed, check how long they've been licensed, and perhaps have a look at reviews and also speak to them directly. So talk to a few and you'll find out who you feel comfortable with and who you trust to take you through this very complex process of moving from one side of the world to the other.